So this first video is about the general workflow of iGEMS and also about the environment. So let's jump in. So when you open iGEMS, this is the first thing you will see. It's a blank drawing. We have our tabs up here and our commands right here. So we have our drawing commands under the tab CAD and our tools where we can manipulate our geometry and import images and create tiles and so on. We have our manufacturing tab for all the manufacturing tools, a nesting tab, and a special application tab where you can make your own applications. The iGEMS is also a button like the standard button for creating new drawings, open drawings, recent files, save, and preferences. And here under About, you will see a detailed view of your version. You can also go into a history of changes, so you see all the changes that we're making. This is also online, so if you click down here, this opens a browser to our webpage, igems.se/cadcam/changelog. So this is the same information. And you also have video links for some bigger changes. From here you can also check for updates. Let's check for an update. Yeah, there is an update, so let's just update. It closes iGEMS and downloads the file. So we downloaded it, and let's just open the install. And then iGEMS will open automatically. We're checking out a floating license, and here we are again. So let me just show you a basic, super basic workflow where we can produce things very quickly. So I want to open a sample, and let's just choose this one. So here is the sample. I've got my geometry, so I head over to my manufacturing tab and I create a part. Select the machine, the material, and the thickness. All right. And I select the part. Hit enter. With this, I also want to create a toolpath automatically. Okay. So now we have a part, we have a toolpath. Creates it automatically with lead-ins and lead-outs. And we can hit process for creating our G-code, enter. And then you will see it creates a 0 point. And I want to process this. All right. And let's just name it same as the part name. Save. And there we have it. That's the file we're going to send to our machine. So that's how easy the programming can be in iGEMS. Just a few clicks. But we're jumping ahead of schedule. So let's just back off a little bit and we'll look at the environment. So this is the drawing. And if we click and hold our mouse wheel, we can pan our drawing like this. And the mouse wheel also, if you scroll it, it will zoom. I'm just going to draw some lines here. Like this. So if we want to select these, we can go from right to left. So I click there and I go to this side. You will see that this window is green. So that means it will select anything that's inside the line, even though it's just a little bit inside. So if I do this and I click again, it will select all of these lines. If, however, I go from left to right, I click again, then you see it's blue. Green, blue. If I do the same here, it won't select anything. I click again, I have to select everything. And that can be great if you have, let's say we make lines like this, and you want to select these lines real quick. You can't go from this side, you want to go from this side. So that's the selection. We also have some buttons down here. This is the color, so we can select a line and choose red color on this. So that's our red line now. I can use ortho. If I select this and I choose a line, it will create a line in, well, I have 45-degree steps right now. You can change that, which is super fast because then I can go up, I can type 100 and right 100 and right, let down 100, and then Shift C for close. So Shift C, that closes this. So that's a super useful tool. And let's say I want to start with a line in the mid point of this line and go that direction. Or maybe I want to go from this midpoint to this midpoint. And I select the line. And I can choose Object Snap. That will, you see the yellow indicator. If you click while you see the indicator, it will snap to that point. So if I click now, left click, it will snap to that point. So if I go to this, like if you're close to the midpoint, it will show a triangle. So I click there again, and that makes a perfect perpendicular line, which is snapped to the midpoint and midpoint. You can also change which snap points you want to see by right click on this object snap. And I would not, like if you select nearest, then it will show this. It will always show a snap, this yellow indicator. Now I don't like that at all. I like to have the endpoint, midpoint, maybe center selected. So I'll deselect this. And also the ortho, we have the ortho step is 45-degree now. Maybe you want to have a 90-degree. So if I make a line again and the ortho is activated, it will snap to 90 degrees. We also have some other settings here. If you want to show the grid, it's this dotted, you'll see here it disappeared now, and there it is. This is 10 millimeters apart. And then if you are uncertain about something, you can select the command you're uncertain of. So I select the line and you can click help. That will open a document and it will take you to that command. So we selected the line, it jumps to line. Line commands ask for a starting point and then the next point. The command is cancelled by using the spacebar, enter, or escape key. Backspace can be used to undo the last line segment. Alright, so I select the line. I go here, here, here. Oh, okay, I made a mistake there. I hit in backspace, and I can go there instead. So if I hit space now, it will end the command. So I can go from line and have a snap point from there to there. And while having a command active, so I select the line again, you will see down here to the left, line specify first point. That is our command helpline, so that will always tell you what to do, the next move. So specify first point. I click here, line, specify next point. I can right click and I can get all the snaps that I want. Let's say I didn't have this activated, or maybe I want to have nearest, for example, which I didn't have selected here. I can just say I want to go there. And now I want to go to the midpoint of this line, and I want to go where yeah, I just want to go to the end point right here. Escape. So you saw me using coordinates. Let's select the line again, and I'm gonna start anywhere, so I just click. So that's my start position. If I know that I want to make a line that's 100 millimeters or inches or whatever, I just type 100 on the keyboard, just 100. And I want this 100 to be relative from this starting point. And if I don't specify an angle, it will maintain this angle right here. And it's gonna make it 100 millimeters. Let's just see what happens if I click OK. So it made a line that's 100 millimeters in the specified angle. So if I have the ortho, then it will snap to all of these, or to the 90-degree intervals. So I can say 100, and I want that to be relative, and I want it to maintain this angle. But let's say I want to have 100, and I want to go 45 degree in this direction. I can click on the 45 degree, or I can specify it maybe 44.5 degrees. All right. So that's lines and the coordinates of lines. But what happens if we're not relative? So I want to use a line again, and I want to specify the first point, and I want that to be 0, 0. And I don't want that to be relative. That means that the 0.0 is going to put it on the 0 point of the drawing, which is the bottom left of this grid. And I don't want it to be relative, because if it would have been relative, then it would have put it right here. So it's absolute from this point. Okay. Well, let's turn off the ortho, and I want the next point to be 100 millimeters in this direction, X, and the next value is comma 200, and that means it will go, the end points of the line will be 100 millimeters in this direction and 200 millimeters in this direction. All right. Now from here, I want to go left 100 millimeters. So I type 100. I want this to be relative to this point. So I select relative and this direction, 180. And let's go back again then, down here. So I want X to be 100, comma, minus 200. So we're going 100 this direction and minus 200 this direction. And it's going to be, oh, it can be relative, yeah. All right. And I escape. So hopefully you get a little bit about the coordinate systems from these exercises. But I suggest you pause the video and you just play around with some coordinates. Maybe you just choose the line command and you can click around. Just get familiar with how things work, and you can just type 200 and you go 400 and then you go 5,000, just because it's a great number. You can click around, Shift C for closing. So if we go back to iGEMs and preferences, there again, we can change the background color. If you want to have a white to black color, the grips. So if we, let's just do this. If we select something, you see these are the grips that we have. We can change the color of those. The cursor size, the crosshair, the grid. That was the point, the dotted, so we had points, and the spacing is X and Y. Anti-grain graphics, which will make the lines look smoother, but it will also make the makes the software a little bit slower, especially if you have large files. These are not things that we're walking through now. All right. Ortho and Snap, we can access them through right-clicking down here also, or from the preferences. And also general, we have undo steps, how many times we can use undo. We can autosave if we want to. Language, we have a lot of languages supported. If it's a unitless drawing, you can select which one you should choose. We have a shared folder, which we will walk through a little bit later as well. Yeah, I think that's about it. There's one more important thing under preferences and drawing units. This is where you can select if you want to work in millimeters or in inches. Yeah. So for the duration of this training, I will refer to our samples library, and that's something you can find under Open and Samples. So this is our 2D samples files. We have a 3D 5x as well, which is our 3D environment. But we're gonna walk through all of these later on. You just select something and open, and it will open. Let me just remove this hideous background. Alright, that's better. So that's basically the environment. If you want to, so I imported a drawing here. We have another drawing, the old drawing. You can just select that. So you can flip through drawings. You can create more drawings if you want to. And just close them with the close button here. Also up here we see it's iGEMS release 2021. The file is import-1 at DWG, and we have selected stainless steel, standard quality 10 millimeters, and it's the machine iGEMS. So up here you will see if you've selected materials and machines, which can come in handy later on. Also down here you see the coordinates, so it's the coordinates of the crosshair or the mouse, which is right here. I think that's it for this episode. Next episode is going to be about drawings and importing geometry. So it's going to be a lot of drawing exercises, and we're going to walk through this whole tab, the CAD tab. So stay tuned.